Yes, ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? It's Egal Talks Football. We are back again with another video off the back of a 2-0 victory away from home at Villa Park. Ladies and gentlemen, that was a statement victory to me. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Do you think that was a statement victory or what? Second game of the season, 2 clean sheets, 4 goals scored. David Raya putting on a man of the match performance. Leandro Trossard coming on in his first touch, putting it in the back of the net. Some people would say that this type of football can catch up to you, but to me, that is the type of football you need to play to be able to beat teams like Aston Villa away from home. Not every single game is going to be easy where you slap in 3-4 goals. No, there's going to be tough performances like that. There's going to be rugged performances like that. There's going to be performances like today where you're going to need to buckle up, man up, and go and fight. And that's what we did. We had Ben White kicking the ball straight at John McGinn's chest, saying, "You can't do that to my boy William Saliba," early in the match. We had moments where we were scared, moments where we were a little bit shaky in the opening half, where today, let's be honest, Ollie Watkins had a disaster class. He should have scored at least 2 goals. But from our perspective, he missed one chance, and David Raya made one of the saves of the season with the second chance. And there's also some negatives we need to discuss, like the likes of Gabriel Martinelli. Today's performance from Gabriel Martinelli was so poor, in my opinion. There was just so much going on with that performance. But you know who else? What I can say to you is, good evening, people. Good evening. Good evening. Yes, people, because Unai Emery and them Aston Villa people can hold that. They can hold that 2-0 on their head top. And also, why don't we just shoot? When we are in front of goal, just try shooting. Because if you shoot, maybe it will go in the back of the net. Just have you thought about that? No? Does that make sense? If you shoot more, maybe it will go in the back of the net. When you're in front of goal, instead of trying to take an extra touch, maybe if you shoot, you might get it in the back of the net. Have you thought about that? My boy William Saliba putting in a masterclass performance once again, doing his job. Gabriel Magalhaes, on the other hand, he had some shaky moments. I thought Timber, I'm yelling Timber. That guy was doing well. Today. I thought Timber, for his first game back from that injury in the league, he did well. And we even seen a Calafiori sighting. Ladies and gentlemen, there's just so much to talk about. We're going to deep dive into everything. Best believe. But do me a favor. Let me know what topics you want to discuss in the comment section. Let me know what you guys are saying in the comment section right now. Who was your man of the match? Because for me, the man of the match was none other than David Raya. I thought David Raya was outstanding. And I'm going to add my first guest. I got my boy Gunnar Souls in the building. Gunnar Souls, what's going on, bro? By the way, bro, I'm in the UK and I get to stay here forever now. I got my papers.
Bro, they might be kicking us out soon.
I got my papers. I'm good. I don't have to go nowhere. Listen, Souls, I was just breaking down the game. Quickly, just give you a quick recap. I thought a couple of talking points. Leandro Trossard, absolute game changer. Love everything about him. The guy, the Anna Hathaway clip is in my head right away. Oh, Trossard. You know what I mean? Thomas Partey. Before he scored his goal, I'm not going to lie to you, I was not too happy with his performance overall. I thought Thomas Partey wasn't having the best of games, and some people even had the audacity to say bring in Ethan Nwaneri for Thomas Partey. I didn't go that far. I did not go that far. I said maybe we do something. Do we risk it? Do we go Jorginho? But this was a physical game. This was a very physical game, and Thomas Partey, Declan Rice, and Odegaard, it worked out. Odegaard, what was he doing missing that chance at the end of the game also? Bukayo Saka, what was he doing today? He could have had an easy goal. Why did he try to chip him? He went for the fancy chip that close to the net. Just strike it. Put your leg through it. Martinelli. Guys, people have given up on Martinelli today. A large portion of the fan base has officially given up on Martinelli today, my friend. Who else is there? Declan Rice got criticism today. I thought he wasn't even that good either. The midfield was all over the place at times. Who's this Rodgers guy on that team? He did this to us last year. He did it to us again. He's actually really good. That kid is actually really good. He's good. Ollie Watkins, you know he's a gooner. Ollie Watkins, we know he's a gooner. That guy, he made sure Aston Villa did not score. He was our second best defender. I'll tell you that. Saliba was our best defender. He was our second best defender. Also, we have 73 people in the chat. This is a call of duty, not the video game, a call of action from you guys. I need you to do me a favor. All of you hit that like button right now. If you have Arsenal friends or family or anybody else, share the video. Let them know to subscribe to Egal Talks Football. I am so close to 30,000 subscribers. You guys could help me get there. That's been a goal of mine all summer, and we're literally so close. Also, make sure you hit that like button on the video. Before Gunnar Soul says a single word, I just want to say, Ersan, big up to you, my brother. Hope you're doing well. Last thing I'm going to say, David Raya, put some effing respect on my keeper's name. To the people who said he was only voted team of the season because of Saliba and Gabriel and Ben White, just look at those last two performances. People who said he's not a good shot stopper, just look at those last two performances. People who criticized him in the elk to try to big up David Ramsdale. We don't have to disrespect Ramsdale, but admit it, guys. This guy's good. Stop making it seem like David Raya is not a good keeper. He's a really good keeper. We have ourselves a really good keeper. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. That's my little introduction. Everything else. Souls, talk to me. What do you think of the game, bro? I thought it was a statement victory. Did you agree?
Yeah, look, I mean, it was always going to be a hairy game. It was always going to be a difficult, affair to play Aston Villa. They've become a phenomenal side, a formidable side in terms of being a top 6, top 4, competing for those Champions League spots. So I don't think it was ever going to be easy. Even when we've done, shows this week, we all pretty much said 2-1, sort of 1-0. It was going to be tight. It was going to be hairy. And that's exactly what we got. It's a game that we needed to win. And this is one of the biggest things that I wanted to say as well is we constantly keep improving and proving points every single season. Last season, we couldn't beat Aston Villa at all, and they were the only team to beat us in 2024. And we went on to beating them at their own ground this time, 2-0. They couldn't score this time. 2 games, 2 clean sheets. We're starting where we left off. We are a side that's going to compete for the league once again. And I get it. People are going to be concerned about certain positions not being signed, certain players not being sold, all of this. But at the moment, we're on course to winning the league. And one of the things that annoyed me today was, how did beating Ipswich turn everyone into, it's going to be a long season? As if City were ever not going to beat Ipswich at home, at the Etihad. That Haaland wasn't going to score a hat-trick. That people weren't going to triple captain him on FPL. Like, how? This is why I keep saying the fan.
Did you even have him in your team?
No, I don't have him in my team. I didn't want to spend 15 million. But anyway, that's digressing from the conversation. But the thing is, the head loss that people have because Man City beat Ipswich. Like, it's crazy. Like, just calm down. We're a good side. We can compete. We'll beat Ipswich the same way at home, especially. Maybe at the Ipswich ground, whatever it's called, we may not beat them so convincingly, nor maybe City will. But the reality of the matter is, we've got our task to do. We need to stop focusing on what Man City are going to do. Against the teams like Ipswich, the only time I'll actually look at City is when they play Spurs, when they play Liverpool, when they play, maybe United, when they play us, when they play one of the biggest sides, like even when they play Aston Villa, is when I'll sit up and take notice, because they're the kinds of games where teams can slip up. The Ipswich is just supposed to be, and Man City is supposed to be Ipswich. There is no question. It's a foregone conclusion. When we play Aston Villa, I don't get it twisted. I was a bit nervy. I was like, I don't know where this game can go. We may concede. It may be a tight game. It could be a 3-2. It could be a 1-0. It could be anything. But today, the guys stood us proud. We were under the cosh for a few moments. Like Watkins had, 2 phenomenal opportunities to actually put them 2 ahead. That could have absolutely destroyed our chances of winning this game or even getting a result. But the fact that we kept going is what I like. But if you're going to talk about negatives or critiques, it's Martinelli and Rice for me this game. I don't think Rice had a good game.
We're going to have to talk about Martinelli more than Declan Rice.
Yeah, so I'll leave Martinelli for now. But for me, I do agree with the consensus that it wasn't Rice's best game. I do think there was a bit of rashiness and a little bit of lack of composure. Like that opportunity, I can't remember who shot it. It came to me. He just instead of I thought he should have taken a touch and found his option instead of just shooting first time, and that could have maybe opened up another opportunity for us.
Declan Rice really is Declan Rice, Partey, Odegaard. All three of them really did not have the
I don't
typical
think it
Arsenal
works
midfield
for me.
performance, though. It was
I think
Aston
it's
Villa.
Partey or Rice now. I don't think both of them in the same midfield work.
I think the situation was today, Rice in the attacking end and the amount of touches that he got, he was a bit part player. He wasn't utilized as a main piece of the attack. And even in the defensive end, he was doing a lot of ball recoveries, winning a lot of duels, but he did not really get on the ball much. Declan Rice today had a total of 30 touches. That's crazy.
The thing is, I just don't think even with those.
That's crazy.
I don't even think even with those that he actually did much with those opportunities. But again, look, it's one game in forever that he's had that we can actually critique. So it's not a big point, but I do agree with what people are saying. Rice just didn't look up to it today.
I think the whole midfield was quite a little off it, but that's because how Aston Villa were playing us. Don't think Aston Villa's midfield is any scrubs, bro. Aston Villa have a really good midfield. Let me show you, first of all, what their team is. Aston Villa's team is really decent, right? So you got John McGinn, Tielemans, Onana, Leon Bailey. You got Rogers, Watkins up top, obviously. We already know who their back line is, and Matty Cash gets injured after 16 minutes. On the Arsenal side, I don't know how Saka always has the best rating. It just doesn't make sense. Havertz could have had a good chance early in the game that Martinelli gave him, but he didn't really get a good chance on it. Martinelli was the most wasteful out of everybody on the pitch, in my opinion. I don't know why Ben White has a 6.6. I didn't think he had a bad game either. Overall, I think the two guys who stand out for me as having poor games, in my opinion, are, I was going to say Martinelli and Partey, but Partey scored the goal, so I can't really include him anymore.
No,
so
if you're saying the poor, it's Martinelli, Havertz, and Rice. They were the three that were like, okay.
You know, everyone immediately was saying at halftime, we still need a striker.
Yeah,
we still need a striker. And the thing is, I don't think it's a striker. I think this game, more than ever, opened people's eyes that we might just need another winger also.
What have I been saying all summer? I've been telling you guys.
We just need another attacker. We need
no. We need another left-sided winger. Let's be absolutely real. I love Martinelli, and he's a guy that I want to defend and want to back. But the problem, I keep saying, this guy does not develop. He hasn't developed. He doesn't improve his game. And that's the problem. He is pace. And if that doesn't help him, and if he's not, like I said, if he doesn't, and this is my God's honest truth, if he does not move into that central striking position, he is a mid-table player at best. He is not mid-table. I don't care what anyone says. He is a mid-table winger. He is not a winger that gets you into the top teams. And
do you know how low mid-table is?
Mid-table, yes, I said it. As a winger, I said, as a winger, if you move him into more central positions, I'll say he's a top player. But as a winger, he is not that good. He doesn't put his head up. He doesn't look for the opportunities. He doesn't look for like what his options actually are. Look at it today. Today it just opened people's eyes to what's been happening for 2-3 seasons. Don't let the goals fool you. The only reason he had that phenomenal season is because Martinelli was allowed to be central. He was the striker. Jesus went onto the wings. When Jesus is fit, Martinelli will cook. But the problem is the man needs his hand holding through every situation. Like I said, for his own career, move him as a striker. And that's the reality of the situation. You know what's going to happen? Keep playing him because what will happen is my point will get proven further. The issue that I have is what he needs to do is look for your options, know what your opportunities are. That's what sets great wingers apart from those that are mediocre. And that's the problem I'm having with Martinelli. Unless he's near goal, he doesn't, for me, cut it. He doesn't. And the thing is, you'll see he might be a shock exit if he doesn't buckle up his ideas.
Martinelli, he has to have a good season. This at this point, there won't be any excuses, especially when Mikel Moreno arrives. There will be no longer any more excuses for Martinelli. I love Martinelli. I am not somebody who wants to sell him. I'm not somebody who's hating on him. But today, what we witnessed with our own eyes, ladies and gentlemen, we cannot lie to ourselves. You are right. Martinelli today was a liability. Martinelli today was struggling. Martinelli today was slowing down the pace. He needs to improve in the final third, and he needs to take a page out of other people's books. If you're going to make a pass, make a pass. If you're going to shoot, shoot. Make your decisions a little bit quicker, because in football, we don't have that extra 1 second to think. You don't have that extra 1 second. The difference between professionals and regular Joes that are playing at lower leagues is the fact that they need to operate at a fast cerebral level. And Martinelli just unfortunately does not operate at that cerebral level that we need at this moment in time. He's taking extra touches. He's making mistakes. Today he had a 3-on-4, and he out of every choice he could have made, he made a misplaced pass across the box to Bukayo Saka that completely killed the attack. He had another situation where he was one-on-one with the defender. He basically somehow went backwards and got into traffic and lost the ball. And I could probably name more moments like that. I love Martinelli. We all do. But right now, Leandro Trossard is just that much better than him. I'm not saying he's not good. I'm not saying he's not good enough, but he needs to improve in the final third. Leandro Trossard took one shot, one touch, and it was a goal.
The answer is in Trossard, though.
What's the answer?
A new winger.
If we need a goal, the answer right now seems to always be Trossard.
No. Look, this is where the dilemma kind of comes in. Trossard as an impact sub is his best ability. That's the problem we have right now. When you start Trossard, you start to see his deficiencies within a full 90-minute game. And that's kind of where my issue comes in, is that, yes, we can start Trossard. I'm more than happy to do that. But the problem that you then find is in certain phases of the game, Trossard kind of phases out as well. When he's not scoring goals, it's the same kind of problem Martinelli's having, but Trossard has a bit more to his game. That's why he can get out of those situations. For me, a winger is a priority. I don't think a striker does anything. I don't think any striker moves the needle for us. And that's not because Havertz plays in that position. I just don't think we create enough opportunities for a striker to actually benefit from. Today, a lot of people are going to sit there. Look, I'll say it. Havertz had a shit game. But you know why he had a shit game? Because opportunities did not get created for him. You had one opportunity that people can sit there and go, he had to score that. And even that was a tight one as well. Other than that, what opportunities clear-cut were there for a striker to take? And that's the kind of problem that we're having, is that we don't create opportunities without our number 9 being involved. The player has to be involved in build-up, and that's the problem that we have. If we can get someone on that wing, like a Nico Williams, someone who's got a bit more of a natural instinct to be a winger, you'll start to see those improvements. You'll start to see those opportunities. And that's when a striker makes sense. But at the moment, what we have is literally Odegaard is our only creative outlet if Saka isn't performing. They're the only two that can actually create opportunities. If we bring in, let's say, a Gyökeres, or we bring in an Osimhen, or we bring in a Tony, or we bring in whoever, it's the same problem. Where are those opportunities coming?
Could you also make a case that the likes of Mikel Merino would actually help us with an extra runner that's not Declan Rice? Because Mikel Merino is more accustomed to making those late runs into the box.
Yeah, but it's not Moreno's game to score a handful of goals a season. No, he's not that goal-scoring midfielder that people think he's going to come in and solve. The thing that Moreno will do is he'll add a bit more control to the games that we have. He's a little bit of more of a tiki-taka, pass and play, under pressure, he'll do well. But when you're telling him to drive into the box, yes, he can do that. And yes, he can have more of a presence than maybe Granit Xhaka does in the box. You know, whereas with Granit Xhaka, long shots and everything like that were brilliant. But when you put him inside the box, his box presence wasn't that great. Moreno may improve that. But I just don't think he's that solution that we're talking about at the moment. He may let Martinelli be a bit more free because he does overlap and he does like to play with the winger. But the problem that we're going to have is I just think Martinelli just isn't the winger that we need.
Okay, before we go any further, do me a favor, guys. Please do hit that like button on the video. And if you're watching on Twitter, please do follow my account, Egal Talks Football. Now, what are we seeing here? Staffy, £100 that 2-1. Where's Staffy? The £100 2-1 Brighton. Welbeck to score. Yeah, Terence Tibbs, you're right. Terence Tibbs did say Brighton were going to win, and he bet Staffy, and he was right. That's crazy to think about that. Arteta Emery debate. I don't think that the result today didn't settle anything. Morgan Rogers fully was bullying players. Yeah, Morgan Rogers was outstanding
He
for them.
always does though against us.
Morgan Rogers was outstanding. Havertz is just not what Havertz is just not it. He's a fraud. Martinelli is a fraud. Bring Lookman, bro. What are we doing?
Man,
What are we
think
doing?
Lookman. You think Lookman's get? Oh my
Thomason,
god!
what are we doing, bro?
And this is the same shot Lee Gunnar had with bringing Ryan Fraser in. Oh
Yeah,
behave yourselves.
Martinelli definitely needs to be benched. I agree. Martinelli
He
definitely
needs something to wake him up. That's the problem. He needs to be woken up.
Yeah, 100%. You know what? The Emery Martinez pack, is it me or Martinez always has stinkers against us?
Yeah, Jorginho but I mean we can't say anything because last season he kept 2 clean sheets. So
True. But last season was just anomalies, bro. How the hell did we not score in any of those games?
I think they were out for vengeance. They really did not want us to win that league.
Yeah, true. So the Unai Emery and Martinez pack, we don't have to worry about any good evenings or anything like that today. We don't have to hear any good evenings or anything like that anymore. But let me just get to the next talking point. Leandro Trossard, bro. Can we talk about Leandro Trossard before we get on to Raya and everything else? Because we're gonna talk about Raya in a second. And I'm just gonna say, Leandro Trossard, what do you think of this thing where he just comes on and he just scores goals right away? Like, the guy is just super clutch. He's probably one of the most clutch players we have in our team, and also just overall impact. He's always instant impact. I feel like he's not somebody who shies away from the moment. He's one of the most senior players in this team that just takes the game by the scruff of the neck and just wins it for us on a regular basis. It's not a coincidence that we make that substitution that probably everyone was calling for, and immediately he scores. I love Leandro Trossard, man. Talk to me.
That's his brand. That's what he does. You know, he's the most clutch player that we have, the best finisher at the club right now. And the problem that we have is I actually don't think starting Trossard is beneficial for the team. Actually playing him as an impact sub when we need him to play is probably our best bet with him. And that's kind of where the issue kind of comes in when a lot of people are saying bench Martinelli or, you know, the issue. I don't think the issue goes away because there's deficiencies within what Trossard does as well, especially when we play Brighton. Brighton aren't going to sit back necessarily. They're also an expansive team that do like to play football. And Trossard in them situations, I don't think he lacks the pace to play those games. But when he comes off the bench, he's clutch. He's in the right places at the right time when the game's opened up a little bit more. Because Aston Villa in them moments, they had 2 brilliant opportunities to take the game. They kept going for it as well. Those opportunities opened up. They slept a little bit. And Trossard, you know, being fresh, being fit, you know, he's there in right place, right time. And that's kind of the reality of the situation with Trossard. When teams tire and they need to be focused, he's a thorn. He's an absolute hassle to deal with. He's a handful when teams are quiet, and that's kind of where I see it.
He's definitely a handful. One thing I want to point out is he is probably the best finisher after Jota. Like, you know, that Jota type finisher, the guy who finishes both feet, shifty. He's that kind of guy, and that's the guy. That guy,
are we excluding the likes of like Haaland and.
Haaland is not a 2-foot finisher like Jota and
right. Okay, I get.
Salah is not a 2-foot finisher. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay. So you mean like a 2-foot? Okay. I thought you meant just finish.
Somebody who will strike the ball as good with their right foot as they will with their left foot, and just take any chance that they get. For example, we've seen him against Everton do a similar thing with his left foot. And his right foot against other, and we've seen him do it with his left foot, right foot. We've seen him do it from distance. We've seen it from up top. His package of different types of finishes, plus his ability to shoot with both feet. He's very ambidextrous. We don't have that. For example, Martin Odegaard. Martin Odegaard can't shoot with both his feet. If he could, he would score way more goals. Bukayo Saka does not have the footwork that that Leandro Trossard has. It's just a thought. But I do think it's still very relevant. Now, before we speak about Martinelli anymore, there's no need to do that. But can we talk about We need to talk about somebody. We need to talk about a certain David Raya, bro. David Raya, he's the man of the match. No debate. I don't know about you. He's my man of the match. The save that he made today is save of the season, in my opinion. David Raya's save today is one of these saves of the season. David Raya's performance today was outstanding. I thought David Raya deserved man of the match. He did get man of the match, and overall his performance was fully worthy of that man of the match. Did you see the save? You seen the save. He was sitting down, literally nowhere near the ball, has to jump up and grab it out of the air. Amazing.
No, it's not nowhere near the ball. Let's not.
Bro, he was sitting down.
But he was near the ball. Let's not like exaggerate it.
He was near the ball.
It was a great save, but let's not exaggerate it like it was in the other corner of the goal. Like,
okay, let me rephrase it. The man literally was on his knees after the first save and had the time to get up for the second. I thought that was great awareness, good goalkeeping, and probably one of his best saves since I've seen him at Arsenal.
He's not my man of the match, but no, I agree. I think it was a brilliant
man of the match.
Trossard.
Very simple.
Because for me, he is the 2 goals. Like, I know he scored one of them, but that second one doesn't happen without him as well. And that's kind of where
without David Raya, we lose the game.
Do we though?
Yeah, we do. That goal potentially in the 54th minute was when it was 0-0. This was the score.
Okay. In that case,
this was the score when he tipped it over onto the bar. This was a couple seconds later. Literally, what is that? 4 seconds later, when he tips it, when he saves it off the line. When you look at it here, he's fully extended from his post.
No, which I understand. I'm not saying
3 seconds, bro.
Okay, no one's disputing the save, but at the same time, the reason why I'm not giving him man of the match, he didn't do anything other than this. But the reality is, for me, Trossard played a bigger impact.
Did he not have other saves also? Do you not remember late in the first half when the ball came in and he jumped on it like a spider?
Okay.
His commanding of the box was impeccable today.
Wow. Brilliant. Like, okay, it's a basic thing for a keeper to do, but okay, fine. If that's like I said, that save was brilliant, but the rest of it was standard keep. I'm not sure.
You thought he had a standard performance? I can't believe this.
No, I'm saying that's standard shit for a keeper. I'd expect Onana from United to do that, and he's a bozo. To command your, like, come on, either your expectations are low because you don't rate him, or you don't. I don't know. I'm okay. I mean, look, that's fine if you want to really give him that. That's cool. But I'm just saying, like, other than that save, it was standard performance from him. Don't get it twisted. The save was phenomenal. Great save. Arguably going to be one of the saves of the season.
Were we not under the clutch for a majority of the game?
Yeah, but that doesn't make Raya better. Because as soon as Trossard came on, we don't win the game without Trossard. But we also don't win the game without. So that's what I'm saying. Like, for me, he made a fantastic save, but Trossard is the man. Today, without him, we could have lost that game.
Yeah, to me, today without Raya, we guarantee at least draw or lose that game.
But with Trossard, we win that game.
With Trossard, we probably equalized.
No, honestly. We won the game. Trossard comes on, we win.
No, but I'm saying with Trossard coming on 1-0 down, it's a different game. Trossard is an immaculate super sub. He did great. Don't get me wrong. He was excellent.
As soon as he came on, we were off the cosh. They couldn't do anything because the way he was moving.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm not arguing. I don't care. Give it to Raya, but I'm just saying, other than the save, I don't know really like what else there was. Like you saying, commanding of the box. That's standard for a keeper. I expect any decent level keeper to command their box.
I thought he made a couple. Had a couple good actions. That save itself was as good as saving a goal. And yeah, we got Dayo on the building. Dayo, we're arguing about Raya's performance. Souls, you're saying it's a standard performance.
No, I'm saying, yeah, the save was phenomenal. By the way, ignore the save element. Yeah, like put that to one side for a second. I'm saying, other than that, I don't think it like commanding. Like the point that Egal's making is because he commanded the box. For me, commanding the box is a basic thing for a keeper to do.
Yeah, but not all keepers are brave though. Did you watch the podcast with the two goalkeepers when they were analyzing the save he made against Wolves? And they said not many goalkeepers are brave enough to come out like that. Yeah, keepers should be brave and command the box. So when you have goalkeepers like him coming out to punch that corner, putting a real solid fist on it, and not just acting, like dumping it, saving that ball and pushing it away from everybody. Because if you look at where he pushed the ball away to, nobody could reach it. He just didn't reflex. It was reflex for him, agreed, but he pushed it away from every player. So yes, I think that commanding the box is what you expect your keepers to do. Not many keepers do that. He could have punched that ball back in front of the player.
Of the keepers are not good to great.
Yes.
I don't put Raya under the good category. I don't put him as an average keeper.
He's not an average keeper.
Raya is a good keeper.
I'm valuing that save as good as a goal.
Yes.
Well, that's a different argument.
That's a different conversation.
That's not my qualm. That's not the qualm I'm having with you.
That's a different conversation, Egal. Yes, that save is as good as a goal for us because that ball goes in, it changes dynamics of the game. But you also have to realize that that save in itself was an amazing save. To come back again and save the ball. I mean, to track the ball, even though he didn't touch it and it hit the bar, you are in the goalpost. To be able to jump out of the goalpost, cross the line, make sure you're saving the ball before it crosses the line. Because that could have easily been his hand behind the line and the ball crossing the line, and that would have been a goal. So all of that, to be honest, amazing save. Commanding the box, he did very well. Of course, we know that he collects his crosses very well. So I think Raya is a very good goalkeeper for the style that Arsenal wants to play. And I think he's growing with the team. And we all know goalies get better with experience over the older they get. And he's getting to that late 20s, side. So, a couple more years, Raya will be there. I think he's a good goalkeeper.
Let's talk about some quick things before we move on. Thomas Partey also scored a goal. Anybody have anything to say on that?
Hey, he scored a goal, man. He did what he needed to do. I think he had a decent game.
Bukayo Saka also got the assist, and Bukayo Saka should have had a goal if he would have just shot instead of trying to chip the goalkeeper.
Yeah. Some of these things that we see from the TV is like, okay, we're looking at the angle and saying, well, he should have shot. Fair enough. But in training, they may have practiced that where they've done that chipping to the back post. They may have worked on that multiple times, right? Of course, they also will work on shooting. But the point is, when you're on the field of play and you see something in front of you that tells you that, oh, we've done this in practice and it's worked, then you might want to give that a shot over just being the guy to shoot down. Let me just be the one to score. And yeah, I think against Aston Villa, the way I look at this game, and I'm going to say it again, Aston Villa is a tough team. Against this team that took away 6 points from us last season, for me, it wasn't about, remember we said this in the preview video we did. I said, for me, it's not about coming to criticize any of the players. As long as they go in there, they're pragmatic, they win, and they walk out with 3 points. Because of the mentality shift, this team needed to go in there and win because of what happened last year. Aston Villa took 6 points away from us. If we had one game against Aston Villa, we win the league. Now you're facing them. Imagine them winning us right now, and at the end of the season, we don't win the league. It's Aston Villa again. So before they become a bogey team, let's nip it in the bud. And I'm happy we did. People can come here and try and pick out each individual player and say, look, one thing I will always say is it's a team sport. It's a team sport. If somebody's weak, then the rest of the team should carry them. And that's what we did today. Martinelli was weak on the left. We carried him on the right. When the opportunities came, we took the goal. When Leandro Trossard came in, he took the chance to do what he needed to do. As a team, carry your weak side. No team is ever going to be perfect from front to back. Raya carried the team today. Saliba carried the team with that track back that he did and got that last man tackle. Gabriel faltered and gave the ball away and got covered for. Timber. You can list where everybody made a mistake.
Gabriel made me laugh today because the one thing that we credit him for is his defensive ability. But today, his ball playing was actually the part that made up for him.
Yeah, today Saliba was the better defender out of the two. But there's going to be games where they take turns. let's go through
they complement each other. I don't like this idea at the end of a game where you now look at your team. We kept a clean sheet and then we start saying, oh, but Saliba is better than Gabriel today. Gabriel is better, and I'm like, wow, what are we doing here? Like,
you know what? You might be right.
It's a team sport. It's defense, and we defended very well. That's it. Done. Any error that somebody makes, cover the person. That's why the team sport is not individual boxing.
Let's look at the game stats. You know what? I can't even remember Aston Villa's chances being that good. Like, besides the Ollie Watkins chance.
No, they had
besides the Ollie Watkins chance and the header.
Ollie Watkins had 2 chances. This other guy had another chance where it was somebody blocked it. He took a shot like right there. Yeah. They struck the crossbar. That was another. Yeah. So they did have chances. Let's not belittle them. They did have chances.
Timber started, and he played well.
Timbers is too good, man.
Timber played well.
Too good. The technical ability on that guy is phenomenal. I can't wait to see him more. I'm just hoping that he doesn't have relapses, but thankfully we've got Calafiori as well. If we wanted to play a similar defensive approach, let's say, and put an actual defender at left back instead of Zinchenko. So I am glad that we don't have to overuse him if we don't have to.
All right. I was gonna also talk about Calafiori. Got some minutes. It was nice to see him. But before we even talk about Calafiori, did you guys notice Reiss Nelson played? Do you think that was because Jesus is injured, or do you think that's because
Jesus is injured? Jesus was not on the team. He wasn't on the bench. They said he got a knock in training, and he wasn't even on the bench.
I know Jesus is injured because of a groin injury, but my question to you is: do you think Reiss Nelson would have not played if Jesus was available?
Yeah, he wouldn't have played. Jesus would have come in. He would have
brought Jesus. Reiss Nelson is still part of the plans, guys.
Here's the thing. I don't think he's part of the plans. Egal. We can't, just because we saw him cover for Bukayo Saka, we've complained that he needs to rest. He needs minutes. We can't bombard him this whole season, make him play all the games. Now we're 10 minutes more for the game to be ended. We're leading 2-0. Even if it is someone that can do a job right now, it's the beginning of the season when the window is not closed. We've not finished what we're doing. If that's who's on the bench, you have to use who's on your bench. It would have been silly of him to say, oh, okay, let me put somebody else who does not play that position in there. Reiss Nelson is still right now in the team, might not be part of the long-term plan, but as of today in the game, he came in and did a business, did a job, and that was it. Let's not read too much. If Gabriel Jesus was on the bench, I bet you Gabriel Jesus comes on. I bet you Gabriel Jesus comes on, and Trossard moves to the right, and Havertz down the middle. He would have done that, and Saka will come out in rotation. So,
all right, let's do the player ratings. The way we're gonna do it, we're gonna each give our ratings, and then we're gonna keep it moving. Okay. Let's do it this way. This works. Souls, you go first.
0. No, I'm only joking. I'm gonna give him a 9 today.
Yeah, he was a 9. I was gonna say, really good performance. What about you, Dale? What are you saying?
Straight up 10. Clean sheet. Straight up 10. Clean sheet. Great saves. Commanded the box. Collected his crossing. What else? What else do you want your keeper to? He did everything he's supposed to do in the game. Good distribution. What else do I want him to do? He did every single thing a goalkeeper is supposed to. I'll give him a 10, man.
He didn't score, though. He didn't score.
He didn't score. He saved.
Yeah.
His goal, his save was as good as a goal to me.
No.
You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna save it. We're gonna go 2-1. We're gonna leave it at a 9. Okay. Next, we're gonna go Ben White. I thought Ben White was a solid 8.
I'd give him a 7. I'd give him a 7. Yeah, I give him a 7.
Yeah, 7.
I like something about his non-footballing side. I like the fact that he actually was like one of the guys who stepped up and was involved in the shit.
Just for booting the ball at McGinn, I'll give him a 10. But
yeah, because
booting
the ball at McGinn, that moment was we're not going to get bullied. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
And I think one thing is I like the fact I think Villa limited a lot of our players to not be able to play like a 9 today, and that's because Villa is a good team.
And also, a lot of the attack came from the left. Villa knew that Arsenal's best side is the right. Tried to let them do their thing on the left, but we couldn't even capitalize on that youngster who was playing at left back. Crazy. Even they mentioned John McGinn getting kicked in the head. Saliba. I thought Saliba was solid, composed, and his recovery run at the end of the game. At the end of the game, when people's legs are tired, man was doing 90 miles an hour sprints. Crazy.
That's my man. I'm giving Saliba an 8. A solid 8.
I agree. I'll give him 8.5. I thought he was up there as one of the man of the match candidates. What are you saying, Soul?
I'm gonna say an 8.
I got overruled. Fair enough. You can start on the next one, Gabriel Magalhaes.
As in me, this is tough. I'm gonna say 6, just because he made a few mistakes, and I expect him to be a bit more solid and a bit more grounded. But that's just because of my expectation for Gabriel, not necessarily because of the game.
I think that's harsh. I'm willing to give him a 7.
Yeah.
I thought, but only reason why he's not getting a higher rating is because of those shaky moments early in the game. But it didn't punish us, so I'm not going to punish him for it.
I'll give him a 7.5, and I'll tell you why. Yes, he had shaky moments, but he recovered them. Players will have shaky moments in their games. The fact that he's no longer the Gabriel that has a shaky moment and allows it to get away from him. He fights to get that ball back. And the fact that he did that, for me, because I don't expect the player to be 110% consistently in every game, in every minute of the game. If you make a mistake, which is why, if you remember in the documentary, Arteta said, if I lose a battle, if I lose a duel, I'm mad. If you lose a duel and you get it back and you recover, so I'll give him a 7.5. There's no way I'm putting that. You say it's sloppy. I'm like, nah. Look, players make mistakes. It is what they do with that mistake. If he had stayed on the floor or acted like, and then the ball had gone and they had scored from that, I'd be livid. But
but it's a player rate. It's still
yeah. But I'm saying he's
into the rating though. Like
I know, but I'm saying I'm rating him based on what he did in the totality of that situation, not just because he was sloppy. Some people, but taking just the slop and not what happened after the slop. After the slop, he literally got up and got that ball back. So,
all right, we keep it at 7. Timber, for his first game, 7.5.
7.5.
Yeah.
Fair enough. 7.5.
I thought he's had a solid performance. Nothing negative to speak about. Nothing too crazy positive to speak about either.
Except for one loose pass.
Can we say one last thing on the Timber situation though? It goes to show, right, that Arteta isn't stubborn and that he has a game plan for dependent on the opposition. Because a lot of people, because Zinchenko started the first game, thought, he's going to be stubborn. He's going to play Zinchenko no matter what. He better not do that against Aston Villa because they've got Leon Bailey. But it goes to show that he's preparing for each game rather than, what we want him to do, whereas just play your team because that's our best left back.
Horses.
Yeah.
Horses.
And I think that proves the point further. That's all I wanted to say.
And I think that's where Jorginho is going to come into a factor in those games against like the Ipswiches and the Leicester.
Potentially,
Thomas Partey. Thomas Partey.
I think we're going to have a disagreement again.
Thomas Partey, to me, before the goal, I would say 5, 6.
No.
I disagree massively.
I totally disagree.
After the goal, I gave him I'll give him a 6, 7.
I totally disagree. Before the goal, he wasn't a 5. He had a good game before the goal. He did what he did. Fine, he made two passes, two line breaking passes that of course he overhit. And I see those two, but he didn't do anything where he was the cause of any issue. Defensively, he was solid. There was a time where what's that guy's name on the left wing for Villa was trying to track down, and Thomas Partey stuck to him like glue, won the ball off him.
Morgan Rogers.
And then of course he got cooked by the guy again, but he also tackled the guy a bunch of times. So I mean, my thing is,
I don't think 6 is crazy though.
No, I'd give him look. Let me say this: the way Arsenal played out the team today, outside the goal scorers,
I actually think Partey was bad.
Bro,
I rated the whole midfield pretty low until we started scoring.
I don't think Partey was the problem though.
I thought the midfield couldn't hold on to the ball at times.
But that's not Partey though. That's not Partey's fault.
That wasn't Thomas Partey's fault though. And the reason was because we also have to remember this, right? These teams we're playing against are not there to sell ice cream. They're there to play football too. It's like people think like, we like our players so much that when they're on the pitch, they just got to dominate these guys. These guys aren't selling ice cream on the pitch.
Okay, maybe I'm being a little harsh.
I had to play too, man.
Maybe I'm being a little harsh. Maybe I'm being a little harsh, but
I'll give him a 7 because
I'm not gonna lie. If I'm giving Declan Rice a low rating in this game, also don't get it twisted. It's not just a Thomas Partey thing.
Why does that matter? You can give Rice a 0. I don't really care. But the point is, Thomas Partey today did his job. I felt like he controlled well. What he needed to do, he did.
Thomas Partey, I thought he did do his job. I'll give him his credit.
He did his job and he scored a goal.
The goal was needed also, and he came up with the goal. But overall performance, he
That's definitely out of the El Neni cookbook, that, because that was exactly how El Neni was.
I was just going to say, overall performance, I was going to give both the midfielders, Thomas Partey and Declan Rice, similar rating, which was either 6. Yeah.
No, you're smoking some budge.
Before the goal.
No, forget that. Rice was poor today.
All right, let's just do Partey.
Maybe I have an agenda. I have an agenda. Go ahead.
I'm going to say 7.5 for Partey, minimum. 7.5 or an 8 has to be.
Let me know. Does anybody in the chat agree with me that Thomas Partey's performance before the goal was on par with Rice?
It wasn't on par with Rice, no. See, Partey did what he needed to do. So he got maybe once or twice. What's his name? Rogers ran through him, right? Okay, fair enough. Does that mean that his overall play for 90 minutes is now valued at a 6? Meanwhile, Rice was basically today. I don't know what he was doing. I don't know what he was doing on that left side. I honestly don't know what he was doing.
Partey's rating, and then we can go on to, because I think they should be.
So I've been overruled. You guys are giving Partey a 7.
7.5.
Whoa. There you go. You co-sign.
Yeah, I agree with that. He scored a goal. The 0.5 is for the goal. 7, then 0.5 for the goal.
Declan Rice, are you guys starting him at the 6 or lower?
He's a 6 today.
I'm going to say a 4, but because we did win 2-0, I don't mind giving him higher.
He's a 6.
It's a 4.
Okay. You guys spend as much time as you want to talk about Declan Rice, because I thought he did not get involved in the game. His role was to try to win the ball high up the pitch and to counter and to get into the box. I thought he could have easily had a couple goal-scoring opportunities, but what he was trying to do was he was trying to find the ball across the goal line.
The only thing Declan Rice did today was change his contact lens on the pitch. That's all I saw him do. That's the only thing I remember him doing. Just fiddling with his contact.
I remember him making a couple runs.
Look, if you cannot see them, then signal for them to take you out.
He wasn't involved as much. I'll give you credit there. You're right. Maybe it's a little bit unfair to compare him and Partey, because Partey was a lot more involved on the defensive actions also.
The reason why mine was like a 4, for example, is because it's more on the expectation I have on Rice. Like, even in an attacking role, he's admitted it himself. He wants to play more advanced. He wants to show those skill sets. But I don't think we've seen the presence up front, like being that sort of more. Even when he's played in the 8 last season or in previous games, he's been better than this. We have seen him perform to a better standard where he's got a bit of box presence. I feel like today was a bit too rash when he had the ball. There wasn't that sort of composure that you kind of expect from a Rice.
Composure, lad, right?
But it's a one-off game, and you can give that, because Rice has a 1 in 20 or 1 in 30 bad performance. It's not like a 1 in every 2 games.
The man had 43 touches the whole game, so really and truly, he didn't get involved that much. I hear it. Let's move on to the next person. Odegaard. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm gonna give Odegaard.
He gets the same, in my opinion, as like a Rice. I don't think he did much.
I'm giving him a 7 though.
I think Odegaard did more, because on the right channel, if you notice, a lot of times, and even I like Odegaard. I like the fact that he doesn't try to dive, but when you're in the box in those little spaces and you're cutting through players like that and they touch you, please go down and get a penalty. Please go down. Like, what are you doing?
But some people, unless it's actually
what I'm saying, that Odegaard got tackled, but he refused to go down. He literally got tackled. He still wanted to still do the whole, my little tiki-taka. I'm like, dude, they tackled you.
Tap dancing.
Yeah, they tackled you, but so I think Odegaard was good today. I think he was good. I will give him a 7.
I think Odegaard gets a 7 because of the fact that he was creating numerous chances. He was one of the main people on that right side. When Saka and all these other guys had that overload, they had so many people on that one side. He was a release point every time, triggering the attack on that right-hand side. Saka today, we'll talk about Saka in a second, but overall, I thought I think 7 is a good performance. I don't think it's a great performance. So I'm just giving him a good performance. I don't think he was average. I don't think he was slightly above average. You know what I mean? I thought he was good. So that's why I'm giving him 7. And he was really involved in that attack on that right-hand side. It was literally just him and Saka most of the time. Ben White tried to come forward a little bit, but Ben White didn't come forward as much as he usually does today. Anyways, I'm speaking a lot now. Do you guys want to talk about the actual rating? I'm giving him a 7.
Yeah, I said 7 as well.
Yeah,
Odegaard is a 7. Yeah.
All right. Bukayo Saka.
Give him a
7.5.
7.
10.
Give him a 7, 7.5.
Then Souls begin.
No, what are you messing? No. I think today it's like a 7.5. He awoke on himself in the
I
second
said
half.
7.5. So you agree with me? Why'd you yell?
He
No, I
was just
just said
joking.
10.
Now.
I
This
said
is what he
10.
said. He
Yeah,
said
I
10.
just said it as a joke. Yeah, I said it as a no. Do you know what it is? Today was a game of like two halves of Bukayo Saka. I think this is what you should have said for what you were saying for Partey. In the first half, I do think he was a little bit anonymous. Which is fine to do. Like players like this are gonna have spells in games where they don't really get noticed. But in the second half, something awoken and he did start playing a bit better. The tempo increased for him. So yeah, I do think this. What you were saying about Partey is true for Saka. But he did end up getting the assist, as he does. He always is going to contribute in some way. 7.5 is a perfectly viable. 7.5 for me is perfect.
I totally agree. 7.5.
You know, people are always going to disagree with our ratings. Doesn't matter how we come up with them. There are always going to be people who disagree with you. But 7.5 is fair. Moving on to Gabriel Martinelli. Guys, this rating has to be below a 5. Anybody who rates him higher than 5, we're going to have a problem.
Nah, it's a 5 for me. But here's the thing, though. It's a 5 for me because I think that his best attributes on that left wing, which I know is not his best position. I don't think that's his best position, but his best
thought he was below average.
Yeah, his best attribute, he didn't use his best attribute on that left wing at all. And that's the part
What's his best attribute?
Okay, his best attribute
for me was this. Sorry. His best attribute for me is this, right? Run at your player, even if you can't beat your man. Get us those set pieces. You know we're good at set pieces, so run at your players. Win the corners if you can, and if you get past your man, he's a good finisher. So if he gets past his man, great stuff. Go for the finish or go for the crossing. And if you can't get past your man, win us a corner. He wasn't doing that. You know the team is good at set pieces. You know you have the speed. There was a time where the ball came to him. He was the only one running. I'm like, run in there and make Martinez commit. Let him win a corner for us. We can score through that as well. So you not taking those chances for me. That's why I give him a 5. He didn't use his best.
I'm just gonna say, simply put, you don't have to watch football to realize how frustrating he was today. Like you could be somebody who just was watching it for the first time and be like, yo, what's wrong with number 11? Why doesn't he just go straight? He was just doing the simple things wrong. So I'm just going to go 4. I thought that was 5 is average. I think below average is 4. Souls, what are you saying?
I mean, I don't want to rip into him. I've already done that already. But I do think, he needs to buckle up his ideas in training. He needs to start evolving his game a little bit. Just all he needs to really do is look up sometimes and just scan the pitch, just look for his opportunities. Shooting or going central isn't. For me, he needs to move into more of a striker role. We need to either bring in someone who can support him where he can go inside more. But on the basis of what I expect from a Martinelli, I agree. I think it's a below average performance. But again, because we won 2-0, I don't want to go sitting here saying give him a 2, give him a 1, give him this.
It has to be a 5, Souls. You know why? I think it has to be.
I think 5. It's a 4. I don't.
Let me tell you why I said. Let me tell you why I said 5. I just read the comment and I agree with the person. It's because of Martinelli that Marty Cash pulled the hamstring. He walked his life in those first few minutes. If nothing else,
I know, but
nothing else, add that to the list. If nothing else, add that to the list.
We didn't capitalize on the weaker in the defender when
it doesn't matter. The point is he got rid of their number their first fullback.
But he was already injured. Let's not do that.
And I just read the comment and I thought that was funny. I was like, yeah.
So the last time I seen Martinelli really take the left side on his own was versus Seville.
Look, Martin. I need people to put context around Martinelli.
We're gonna go last 4.
Season, last season Martinelli had injuries in and out.
Havertz.
So Havertz is a 7. He's
Havertz didn't do much. I'm gonna give him 6.
He's a 7 for me because he made the runs that gave us the opening for Leandro Trossard. Listen, go and watch that goal again. If Havertz did not make that run and pull away the defender, Leandro Trossard doesn't score that ball. He doesn't see the space to score that ball.
Okay, but I think 1 second. I think 6 is.
And the amount of work he did off the ball.
Okay, do you think Kai Havertz was good or okay?
He was good. He did what he needed. Fine, he didn't score today, but he did what he needed to do.
Oh, do you agree? 7? Or are you with me? 6.
This is Aston Villa we're talking about. this is after we're not talking about the fact that, and it's not like Kai Havertz was anonymous in the game.
I'm not saying he has to score. I'm not saying I just didn't feel like it was a. I didn't think he was playing a lot, but I didn't really notice him from a large portion of the game.
Yeah, because of the way Aston Villa set up against us, he had to drop deep and play do other things. The things you're expecting him to do was not what he was able to do because of the way Aston Villa set up with us. Okay. Of course, they set up to nullify us. They set up to make sure that everything we wanted to do goes through our left-hand side, which is what they did.
All right.
So
I hear you, brother. I just want to hear what Souls has to say so we can move on to the next one.
Yeah, I mean, look, if you've played an attacking role of football of a decent level, let's say, you'll understand exactly why Kai had to do what he was doing today. He was the magnet. He was someone that needed to move and shift that defense to create openings if he isn't going to be the target himself. And that's exactly what he did, in my opinion, today. Just like, Dyer was saying, like his movement was the key to openings. And also, don't forget, there were moves at the very beginning where he dropped deep into the defense and actually one-touched it out of the position as well. So for me, without scoring and without the elements of like what you expect from a number 9, he was exactly what you needed to do to create other opportunities. So I agree, 6.5 and a 7, I'm fine with.
All right. I don't know why I'm taking photos. Anyways, moving on to Leandro Trossard. Can we just give him a 9 and keep it kicking?
10.
Nah, he doesn't get it.
As an impact sub, what more can this guy do?
Look, give the man a 10 and stop this. Let's not do this.
We're stingy with 10s. The only person who got a 10 is Aubameyang's hat trick versus Valencia.
We have to give it, and the reason is this: he comes into the game, first touch, goal.
Bro, we can't give away 10s like this.
So what are you going to give a 10 for? If not this, coming to the game, a game that has been deadlocked, a game that could have gone either way.
I think he got a 10.
A game where Raya,
Fulham away when he got a hat trick of assists, he got a 10.
Okay, look.
By that standard, okay, fine. I'll give him a 9.5 then.
9.5 works. Is that okay?
I feel like we're rigging this election. It should be a 10.
But he's man of the match for me. Clear.
He's man of the match, yeah.
I thought man of the match was Raya, but fair enough.
All right, what's your opinion? Because we didn't ask you that. So who was your man of the match?
My man of the match was David Raya.
My man of the match was Leandro Trossard. I rate what David Raya did, but Trossard as well, man. He came in clutch. He came in clutch.
We're not going to give the other guys ratings because they didn't play long enough. And yeah, so that's it.
Calafiori already having beef is the best thing I've seen.
Oh yeah, Aston Villa. They love fighting. They love fighting. Listen, guys, I'm gonna go out. I gotta go out, have a good time. I want to show some appreciation to Deo and Gunnar Souls, and also everyone who's watching this right now. Do me a favor. If you're watching this on YouTube, please do hit that like button. And if you're watching this on Twitter, come join us on YouTube. My channel is literally about to hit 30K subscribers. I need your help. Please do come help grow the community. And there's a lot of videos that I do not post on Twitter. So come join us on YouTube to find out the full experience. Deo, appreciate you jumping on once again. Souls, appreciate you. You guys have yourselves a wonderful day. And all I have to say is I'm happy. Today is a good day.
3 points in the bag. 3 points in the bag. Let's go.
No. 6 points out of.
No, I said 3 points in this game. Every game for me. Yeah. I'm just counting out.
Two down, 36 more to go. Let's go.
114 points.